obviously we all want to eradicate COVID. It's a pandemic. That obviously means it's worldwide. It's horrible and it needs to go. We all suffer when people from around the world get COVID. So you would think that even evil overlords like Bill Gates would want to do everything possible to eradicate COVID, even if that cuts into his many billion dollars of bottom line. Like, I don't know what rank he is in the world right now, 2 or 3 or something.
He's probably close to a trillionaire at this point.
Right. Very true. I think Elon is number one wealth wise. Gates has been number one in the past. He'll be okay, if but he doesn't want the patent to get out there. So he is really protective of patents, and he's fighting the thought of this patent going out to places like India, like South Africa. So this is out of India Today, which, as we all know, India is having really, really horrific upticks in COVID. So Bill Gates believes COVID-19 vaccine tax should not be given to India. What he said and why he said it. Even though Gates cited security issues and said it would be too expensive to share the COVID-19 vaccine patents with developing countries, several reports have highlighted the profit-making aspect of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in the face of the pandemic. Bill Gates has refused to share COVID vaccine tech with the developing countries like India. Again, he cited security issues and said it would not be feasible to share COVID-19 vaccine patents. He claimed that even if vaccine tech sharing happens in developing nations, it is because of our grants and expertise. Tech bigwig and Microsoft founder Bill Gates attracted criticism after a recent interview in which he expressed his reluctance in sharing COVID-19 vaccine technologies with developing countries like India. Even though Gates cites security issues and said it would be too expensive to share the vaccine patents with developing countries, which is bullshit, several reports have highlighted the profit-making side of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which isn't the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation a foundation to do good in the world? In the face of the pandemic.
It's philanthrocapitalism.
Right. In a recent interview, Gates was asked if it would be better to share intellectual property rights on COVID-19 vaccines with developing countries, to which he replied by saying a straight no. Let's see. What Bill Gates said when he was asked if COVID-19 vaccine tech should be shared with developing countries. The thing that's holding things back, in this case, is not intellectual property. It's not like there's some idle vaccine factory with regulatory approval that makes magically safe vaccines. So he'd rather say, oh, there might be safety concerns if we share this with India. Right. So we may as well not share it at all.
That's right.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Reports and critics see this as a selfish move, noting that denying vaccine patents or formula to developing nations would make it possible for developing countries to inoculate people with cheaper vaccines. Gates' justification for not sharing vaccine tech with developing countries. Gates justified this opinion of not sharing vaccine tech with developing countries by saying that it would not be feasible for a company to move vaccines to a developing nation. Here, he specified India and that not all countries are concerned about moving the safety of a vaccine. He claimed that even if it happens, it is because of our grants and expertise. Gates said, there's only so many vaccine factories in the world, and people are very serious about the safety of vaccines.
Jen?
Yeah.
Can I just stop you there? Because you know what's really offensive about him saying that? Do you know how many PhDs India has versus the United States? And do you know how many visas we give out to those folks to come here to work in tech?
I don't know, but I assume it's a lot.
Yeah. So for him to be snobby about it's our expertise in this American exceptionalist way in relationship to India is pretty offensive, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Highly so. Gates said there's only so many vaccine factories in the world, and people are very serious about the safety of vaccines. Moving a vaccine, say, from a Johnson & Johnson factory into a factory in India, it's novel. It's only because of our grants and expertise that can happen at all. Okay, so what? Like, good. Do it then.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's your point?
His point is he's a greedy bastard.
It's absurd.
Honestly, that's where this is at. Our grants and expertise. No, Bill, it's your money.
Reports have noted that Gates's comments highlight the profit-making aspect in the face of the pandemic. Critics have also noted how the tech bigwig tried to influence the ignorant audience with false claims, calling it vaccine racism, which is exactly what it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's I have to laugh because it's so absurd. It's superficially absurd that he's even making these arguments given the facts.
Yeah. Bill and Melinda Gates.
I mean, do people actually buy this garbage?
I think only like the wealthy people who are part of this profit-making scheme.
Bill and Melinda, they even buy it? I think they'll use it to their advantage, but do they really believe this is true?
No, I don't think so. I think they're wealthy, evil bastards. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has committed $30 million, which, by the way, that's like pocket change for them.
Yeah.
To fight COVID-19 and develop a vaccine. According to reports, the foundation's $40 million worth stake in CureVac alone has delivered profits in tens of millions of dollars. So they're profiting. They're not being philanthropic here. You know, it's not like, oh, that's so nice, $30 million or $40 million, whatever. Yeah, no, they're profiting.
They are profiting. This is philanthrocapitalism. He's trying to make himself look like the good guy, but he is absolutely making money off of all of these things. That's like the point I was trying to drive home earlier if that was missed. This is what it is. This is like disaster capitalism, right? This is philanthrocapitalism. He knows he's got a problem, a public perception problem. He wants to fix his public perception problem, but he also wants to continue being a greedy bastard. So what do? We set up a foundation and we run all of these things through the foundation, and the foundation is still earning all of this money, right? People need to stop viewing nonprofits as being entities for the good, because some of them are, yes, of course. I'm not saying this is true of all of them, obviously, but there's a big chunk of the 501c3 universe that is not and should not be trusted. Think tanks are another example. They're 501c3s. What are they doing? They're lobbying arms for corporate entities. They want to make themselves look better through academic eyes, right? All of this is manufacturing consent.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.